Let me pivot here, guys, because we do have to talk fantasy football. Scott Barrett, I'm going to say it is going to be an utter failure, or Caleb Williams gets injured if he does not become the Chicago Bears' first 4,000-yard passer this year. And I mean this year, because the Chicago Bears have just selected Rome Odunze with the 9th pick.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm backing off Jaden as QB1. My God. All right, Joe, they are setting him up for success, unlike Fields.
Look, Ryan Poles, he's made some bad moves, okay? The Chase Claypool trade is an all-time awful trade in the NFL. But the Bryce Young trade is an all-time great trade in the NFL, right?
We got crazy potentially brewing. Everyone's trading out, or is talking about the Jets trading out. I'm wondering, is Denver trying to trade ahead of Minnesota?
The Vikings have traded ahead of Denver.
There we go.
They
were already ahead of Denver.
Oh, excuse me.
They're trading up one spot to make sure Denver can't come up.
Oh, it's Bo Nix.
No, it's not. Stop.
McCarthy. It could be Rattler.
It's gonna be Rattler. It's gonna be McCarthy, guys. Come on.
So basically, this is kind of what the Eagles did with the Bears last year, right? The Eagles traded one spot ahead with the Bears just to ensure that the Bears didn't trade with somebody else to trade for Jalen Carter. So the Jets are essentially like, we're open for business. We can still get Brock Bowers or an offensive lineman.
Oh my God.
Odunze. Oh man, look at this dude in the fedora at Rome Odunze's table. This guy is the coolest motherfucker I've ever seen. Oh man, that guy was a badass. All right, so the Vikings. Okay, here it is. The Vikings get good patience, by the way, here by Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. The Vikings get. I just saw the trade, and then of course the Twitter machine was quickly refreshing, so I didn't trade it. Let's see here. I was trying to get the details of the trade, but I'm guessing the Jets got good value here, just to end up getting the player they wanted anyway. Because oh wow, this is okay. So here's the trade summary: the Vikings get number 11 and a 6th. The Jets get. The Vikings get number 10 and a 6th. The Jets get number 11, a 4th, and a 5th. So the Jets basically pick up an extra pick and move up around just to end up getting the player they wanted anyway. That's a good little bit of business by Joe Douglas.
And I'm guessing that player's Bowers, right?
I
guess it could be a tackle. I was told they love Troy Fontanu.
Fontanu? Well, Fontanu can play guard right away, can he?
Exactly. He can play guard.
And if they wanted
Tyron Smith is not a healthy dude ever, so
Morgan Moses is 33. So couldn't you also draft a development? I don't want to say Olufashanu's developmental, but he probably needs a little bit more coaching than some of the other guys. And
I forgot he was still there.
You can put him on the bench for now. But Brett, I have to imagine. Let's look. Let's see. Who knows who? Who knows? I mean. After the Penix trade, I am not confident in saying anything right now, but I have to imagine this is JJ McCarthy. So JJ is going to be probably a top 10 pick, Brett. And I will say this.
It's official. JJ McCarthy.
JJ? All right.
Wow. Well, he gets the nuts landing spot. That's awesome.
By the way, that's the nuts landing spot in the top 10. You had Yahoos on Twitter all day today telling, I would love to play the under on 5.5 QBs in the top 16, whatever.
Yeah.
Or 4.5 QBs.
And so, okay, Brett, this is your guy.
Yeah.
When you had JJ McCarthy at number 1 on your big board, I don't think anybody else had him as a top 10. And let's separate big board from mock draft, because there are people who are going to have him as a top 10 pick or had him as a top 10 pick in a mock draft who didn't have him as a top 10 pick in the big board. But when you put him at number 1 in your first mock draft, I don't think I saw him going earlier than the 20s almost anywhere. The slip here is a little bit, but break down the skill set. Break down this for Viking fans. Get Viking fans excited. What does JJ McCarthy bring to this team? What does he bring that's similar to Kirk Cousins? What does he bring that's different from Kirk Cousins? And can we get excited for fantasy football?
Oh, for sure. I'm going to give you the same spiel I've given everybody, whether I'm on our shows or other people's shows. I've labeled him the perfect marriage between high floor and high ceiling. And it's true. A lot of times you get a high floor guy, it's kind of assumed you're sacrificing a ceiling. With JJ McCarthy, you're not. He has this high floor because he's a really developed passer. He does all the QB centric things at the highest level of any of these quarterbacks. What I'm talking about, these high floor traits are throw for throw accuracy. He's awesome pre and post snap, getting through his progressions, getting to the right receiver, getting to the right protection. He's awesome in the pocket, managing that pocket, understanding how to manage distance while sliding and stepping and resetting the offensive line, keeping himself clean. He's awesome at playing in structure, throwing within rhythm. And on top of all that, all those high floor traits, he also has a really good arm, a really accurate arm downfield, despite what the naysayers will tell you, and incredible athletic ability. There's GPS sources out there that have him at 22.5 miles an hour on multiple plays throughout his career. This dude has absolute wheels. He wasn't asked to do a lot in Michigan. That's the biggest knock on him. Is Jim Harbaugh is a stubborn dude. They ran the ball down everybody's throats. They had 21-point leads in 11 games this year. He just wasn't asked to do a lot. So the question is he good enough? Does he have a big enough head on his shoulders to carry an offense if he has to throw the ball 40 times? I think the answer is yes, based on the traits you see on tape. But there's a lot of people who disagree with that. The other thing too is, the football intangibles, right? Leadership qualities. He's a winner. All that stuff matters to NFL teams. It matters to me a lot too. I think what's going on between the ears for a quarterback is probably more important than what their body can actually do. Case in point, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees. I rest my case.
I'm gonna be completely honest here right now, and I don't know exactly how the board is going to shake out, because I think McCarthy was kind of a wild card in early best balls. And Scott, we can talk about the dynasty angle. I think he was a wild card in early best balls because he was a tough guy to get a grasp on. Is he going to go to the Patriots where his wide receivers are going to be dog shit? Is he going to go to the Giants where his wide receivers are going to be dog shit? Or is he going to slip a little bit and end up on a decent team, which is exactly what happened? I don't know exactly. The problem here is I think everybody might end up with the same take as I have. Scott, I can't imagine I'm going to have many quarterbacks in best ball I'm going to draft more than JJ McCarthy this year, because the running ability, the receivers, the uncertainty, maybe, he was the 5th quarterback drafted, right? How good can he be? I don't know. He's a guy, Scott, I feel like I'm going to be drafting quite a bit for this year, not just for dynasty.
I wonder how much the Penix decision influenced the Vikings to move up. Like, if that didn't happen, could they have been comfortable choosing between those two quarterbacks? But yeah, from a fantasy perspective, you have to like this. The Vikings had Kirk Cousins for 7 games and then 3 different backup quarterbacks for the rest. And they led the league in passing yards last year. This is an up-tempo, potent, pass-heavy offense with a great offensive coordinator, great supporting cast. This is the nut spot. It wasn't the draft capital we were kind of hoping for, so Brett could cash his bets, but it just looks like a great spot for fantasy.
I was protected through pick 11. We're good. I didn't get rich or anything, but I made money. Yeah. We're good on that.
I lost all my McCarthy bets, but hey, you know what, Brett? I know you hate that the Lions have to face him twice a year, but okay, hold on.
Yep, you go ahead.
Okay, I thought you were doing the Rock thing to me, where you're like, it doesn't matter what your name is. No, the thing I was getting at with Minnesota, now I lost my train of thought. Was just the fact, I don't know, the landing spot's good. This is what I was getting at. I have become an absolutely firm believer in. I believe in it basically at all positions. I think dog factor is so fucking important. And I know, I just when I watch, I saw it with Jordan Love, early in the season, and then he hit his swoon, but he has a confidence to him. And I think that's so important. And if McCarthy has that, I think that goes a long way in the NFL. It can't be everything, because if it was everything, Tim Tebow would still be playing. But,
sure.
I think McCarthy has it.
For sure. No, I agree with you. That's kind of what I was talking about with the between the ears stuff. I think that's important.